We're so happy to say that Paul Tazewell is here, and he bought Oscar. We'll look at Oscar in just a second. But Paul, I was in the room that night, and I hope you felt the love. The minute they said your name, people stood up and started applauding before you even opened your mouth. I felt that everybody was pulling for you. Did you feel that too?
Absolutely.
You had to.
It was remarkable.
Yeah.
It was really remarkable. I mean, just the synergy, just everything.
Are you still floating?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. With Oscar, right,
Yeah.
right by my side. Yeah. No, it means so much to be recognized for this film, for everything that I put into it, and then everyone else that had a hand in creating the costumes.
But did you dream of this moment? Did you dream of you being on stage winning an Oscar as a little kid? Because you're doing this a while. Did you dream of this?
You know, I have spoken with my brothers and my cousin just about, you know, we would sleep outside in behind our house in Akron, Ohio, and dream about what our lives would be as adults. And
What was your dream?
it was this. I mean, it was becoming famous and you know, leading a glamorous life, and you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that it would give me the full, rich life that I've had, you know, which has been being a costume designer, working with amazing talents, being able to tell really important stories.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it was going to look like this.
No, but look like this. Number one, I gasped when we've all seen the movie when she came out in the pink and Cynthia.
Yes.
I'm curious about your process when you're designing, because it's fantastic. It's amazing to me that it starts as a drawing on a piece of
Well,
paper.
it starts in the mind first.
Starts in the mind
Then
first.
hits the
a
paper.
drawing and then that. What's your process?
Well, I start with the text. I start with the script or a director's idea or a writer's idea, and then I start to do research. And I'm pulling together images that feel reflective of how I envision this world. But it stays, I like to keep it abstract. You know, I like to keep it in a place of, you know, we're talking about qualities of color and shapes, and you know, that was where the idea of the spiral came into play for Wicked, and the idea of the texture of mushrooms. And I'm working to align those elements which viscerally feel appropriate or right for the world of Oz, but then I want to create a connection with the characters. Wow. Because all of it is about telling stories through what my medium is which is clothing. And making those characters visually more interesting or more specific. Because as with each of you, you choose what you're gonna wear every morning.
Yeah.
You get up, you know what you have to do for the day, and you dress appropriately to whatever you have coming your way.
It's fascinating.
So, you know, when you're telling a story, I'm also creating that. I just happen to be creating an arc of what those clothes might be.
You really see that in the movie because you see the evolution of both of the main characters' clothing. Somebody pointed out to me, I'm not sure who it was, I don't know if it was Giselle, who's a huge Wicked fan right here, our floor director, but Glinda's clothes start to look a little bit more like Elphaba. Later in the movie, Elphaba has her own transformation. I'm so curious about the hat, because I recently saw Wicked on Broadway, and the hat on Broadway is a simple kind of witch's hat, but your hat had all this personality. What was the inspiration in the process?
Well, you know, it was a number of things. One was that there's the moment when Glinda gives the hat to Elphaba, which is given as a joke. And it's been created by her grandmother, and it's stored in her luggage. So it was important for it to open up like a top hat would. So, you know, having it, giving it that kind of crooked shape was, you know, an element of the story. Also, the way that John Chu wanted to start the film, he was describing it from the very beginning that it would be, you would see it from a distance and it would look like a mountain, and then you'd come in close and you'd realize that it was the
Shout out to
hat.
John Chu. We have pictures of you as a little kid because you've been sewing. You were 16, you were a young boy. You worked on The Wiz in high school. I mean, it's so great to see you back in the day. And I love that you said, I'm the first black man, because that struck me. I hadn't thought about that before. How you were able to do this when there was nobody that looked like you, and now people can look at you and say, I want to be like Paul. Yeah. How did you do it, Paul, when there was nobody who could be an inspiration to you that looked like you?
You know, I think that it was developed very early in my life, and being an inspiration for just all of the young people who, find themselves in the world of costume and want to express themselves creatively. I mean, it's exactly where, I came from as well, developing as a creative person. Going from wanting to be a performer to wanting to be a costume designer and finding my power in that. And, I'm so grateful.
You got a superpower, all right.
Yes.
Mr.
We
Tazewell.
appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
The incredibly
And we didn't look at
talented
Oscar.
and gifted.
Yeah,
and
Oscar.
congratulations.
Do you just walk around with him? Hello, I am Paul
Do you check
Tazewell.
him in your luggage, or did you bring him on the plane?
I actually carried him on.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got to
you did.
carry it.
Okay.
He actually deserves his
Thank
own
you
seat.
so much.
Thank you so much. You are a living legend and incredibly gifted. Good luck in the future. And part 2 coming soon, and even bigger and better and brighter.
Absolutely.
That's right, Paul Tazewell. We
Can't
appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Okay.